This edition of the English News for this evening has as a headline: the 20th session of the Council of Ministers focus on the budget has been held with the presidential pass. A donation ceremony of mobile platform car to the National Police. We're going to start. President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, has addressed today a congratulatory message to the Ethiopian Prime Minister, Mr. Haile Mariam Desalegn, extended for 5 years at the foreign head of government. Being chosen once again as the head of the Ethiopian government certifies the fact that you are the right and the best for preserving and promoting the achievements and interests of the Ethiopian nation. Has written the President of the Republic, transmitting its heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Desalegn. I'm proud and sincerely wish the Ethiopian people will follow your relentless leadership. The already implemented work continued. The President Gele in Djibouti, we are happy that you have been re-elected as the head of the Ethiopian government and that you have great knowledge of the multiple strategic partnerships between our two countries and our two peoples, underlined the head of state. You can be sure it is with unspeakable pleasure that I shall contribute continuously to your sides by strengthening the relations of friendship and cooperation between our two nations on one hand, and as I will never stop working ceaselessly for the betterment of the economic integration of our two countries, has expressed the head of state. The Prime Minister-elect of the government, Mr. Abdelkader Kamel Mohammed, has shared this morning the 20th meeting of the Council of Ministers. Several texts has been discussed and approved at this meeting. Here is the record of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and spokesman of the government, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf.
Concerning the ministerial budget, where two bills have been discussed and approved in the Council of Ministers. The first bill was focused on the final settlement of the state budget for the year 2014. The project of the state final accounts for the year 2014 has been set for an income of 104 billion Djibouti francs against the expenses of 102 billion francs. Compared to the fiscal year 2013, the general revenue has recorded an increase, mainly due to the tax incomes and remissions, which registered a significant rise. As for the accomplishments of the state general expenses, they have shown a substantial increase, which is mainly due to the growth of the public investment level. The implementation of the 2014 budget comes in the framework of a favorable economic environment. Such an accomplishment has been made possible by the expansion of the key sectors such as the airport infrastructure, construction activities, services, telecommunications, water and electricity sector, as well as major infrastructure projects initiated by the government. During the fiscal year 2014, the government has maintained its policy of reducing poverty and unemployment by adopting an appropriate strategy of an inclusive growth. Then the Council of Ministers has focused and approved on the financial bill on rectifying budget of the state for the year 2015. This project of law has been fixed in a balance in an income and expenditure of 132 billion Djibouti francs. This increases by almost 5 billion francs compared to the initial financial law. This growth of the budget is due to the increase in domestic resources with the rise of the generated revenues by the charges on the products and non-tax incomes. It also aims to make various arrangements in the fight against malnutrition through the lowering of taxation on the vitamins and provitamins. It also fosters access to works by decreasing the taxation on this product and ultimately establish an special funds for the water money to support the specific financial needs of the rural areas. As for the expenditures, the major rise the incomes in the same level, with an increase of the current expenditure such as service operating expenses. These services are progressing compared to the initial budget approved earlier in this year. And concerning the investment, this rectifying budget provides for the expenditures. These expenditures result in the continuation of major infrastructure projects policy, including the proposed construction of the new railway line, water supply, and projects on the strengthening of other road infrastructure. The rectifying financial bill aims to adjust the initial expenses plans in the year 2015 to a new developments register in the evaluation of investments projects.
The government spokesman Mohammed Ali Yusuf has then made a presentation on its participation in the 70th General Assembly of the United Nations in New York, as well as other ministers' mission. Let's listen to him.
In his presentation, the government spokesman has made a report on his participation in the General Assembly. He was with a strong delegation led by the head of state who participated in the Summit on Sustainable Development for the year 2015 and the 70th session of the General Assembly of the United Nations, which took place at September 25 to October 3 in New York. He has also reported the important meeting of the international leaders on the gender equality and women empowerment, which has been held in September 2007. During this Council of Ministers, the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Mr. Ali Yaqub Mahmoud, has also made a report of his mission in New York at September 29 concerning the signature of a pipeline protocol agreement of the refined petroleum products between the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, the Republic of Djibouti, and the Blackstone Company, Black Rhino. As for the Minister of Defense, Mr. Hassan Darar Hufani, he has talked about the preparation of the 19th Ordinary Session of the Standby Force of Central Africa Bodies, which will take place in our country in October the 12th to 17th. And finally, the Minister of National Education and Professional Training, Dr. Jama El-Maki, has presented to the board the celebration of the World Teacher Day in October 5 to 12.
The Ministry of Health, Dr. Qasim Sa Osman, accompanied by the Director of Studies of Planning and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahad Ibrahim Hassan, is taking part in the second China-Africa Forum for the Enhancement of Health. This forum was held from October 4 to in Cape Town, South Africa. The objective of the conference was to promote the accessibility of health in Africa in the context of post-Ebola and improving China-Africa cooperation in this sector. Still in the national news, the Secretary of State for National Solidarity, Mrs. Zahra Yusuf Qayat, at the head of a strong delegation, went to the Dukil region. The delegation was composed of UNFD responsibles, members of the Dukil region, and senior officials of the Health Department. The purpose of this visit was to sensitize the civil society, community leaders, women leaders, and heads of the decentralized services of the state on the implementation of the National Family Solidarity Program. After a courtesy visit to the prefect, the delegation led by Mrs. Zahra Yusuf Qayat was warmly welcomed by the prefect, the president of the regional council, community leaders, residents of the Dikil region. During the information and awareness meeting, the prefect and the president of the regional have in turn presented the subject of this meeting and warmly thanked the population of the region for their hosting. Then the Secretary of State for National Solidarity presented the objectives, expected results, and implementation modalities of the National Program for the Family Solidarity, known as PNSF. She has underlined that this program is intended to improve the living conditions of the poor households and that the program is fully funded by the government of Djibouti. The PNSF aims to distribute a cash transfer
The beneficiaries are required to participate in the accompanying measures. This is a vector of redistribution of income and resources to the most needy. She added that this program is part of the vision of the head of state to build a more fair and fraternal society, and it reflects the will of the government to reduce poverty.
The inhabitants of Dikil's region welcomed the support program for vulnerable families and thanked the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Al-Margili, and the First Ladies, Mrs. Khadra Mohammed Haid, all the notable effort in the fight against poverty. The MP of the Dikil's region has underlined the importance of this program to the target population. He's also highlighted the role of local authorities to identify households eligible for this program. It's emphasized the importance of targeting that is based on the community approach. The first meeting of the Regional Committee of the National Program is also subject to the participate in the first meeting of the Regional Committee coordinating part of the PNSF and monitoring activities of the region of Dikil. The delegation led by the Secretary of State for National Solidarity, Mrs. Zara Yusuf Qayad, has participated in the first working meeting of the Regional Committee of the PNCF in Dikil region. The meeting was attended by the Regional Committee, the SECN, the President of the Regional Council, the Prefect, the Coordinator of the project of the UNFD, member of the region, the School Director, Head Doctor of the region, the PNCF management team, and the representative of civil society.
The purpose of this meeting of the Regional Committee was to present the program of National Family Solidarity, the role and responsibility of the Regional Committee, as well as the management of complaints. Finally, the action plan of the Regional Committee for targeting community activities was introduced in order to proceed to the formation of local communities. At last, the delegation visited the future post of the BNSF located in the Regional Council in the UNFD antenna. A new railway will link soon to Djibouti in December. The railway transport between the Republic of Djibouti and the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia will soon enter in a new era with the forthcoming of a modern railway line. This new railway track of 752 kilometers has been financed and built by China. It will be mainly dedicated to the transport of goods via the ports of Djibouti. More than 90% of the Ethiopian import-export travels today by the port of Djibouti. More details in this report.
The new rail line will allow a faster transport of goods to Ethiopia, a landlocked country in which population is estimated to 95 million with enormous needs. Sugar corridors were for nearly 2 decades a high growth rate. Its economy is one of the most successful of the African continent. The construction of the new railway track has been entrusted to 2 Chinese companies, the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation and the China Railway Energy Company. The Chinese Bank of Investment, Exim Bank, has costed for the 2 countries of $4 billion land for the realization of the new train. The site of construction of the new track of railways, which began in January 2014, has enabled hundreds of Djiboutian and Ethiopian workers to find work and to train themselves. Several months were also necessary to finalize the studies, to route heavy equipment store, and then to transport them to Ethiopia, which will draw much more advantage with this train with a more than 600 kilometers of rails to Ethiopia. Djiboutian and Ethiopian responsible for the management of the new railway track, technical maintenance and maintenance of the hardware have in addition been dispatched in China. They have benefited from an accelerated training. The major civil engineering work has been carried out. Bridges. The train will depart mainly from multi-service port of Beale, and ramp of connection will happen by Nagad, with the main railway station constructed by the Center of the Operation Inspection. The new train will not stop anymore in all the communities the former train used to serve. It only means 10 hours to connect Djibouti to Addis Ababa and 2 hours only to connect Djibouti to Douala, a great satisfaction of tourists and passengers. These means of transport will also have a positive impact on the environment and the emission of gas. The commissioning of the new railway line will be officially operational in January 2060.
A presentation ceremony of mobile patrol for the National Police was held this morning at the Academy Idris Farah Abani of Nagad. Many officials were present at this ceremony, such as the National Police Commander Colonel Abdullahi Abdi Farah, the Japanese Ambassador Tatsuo Arei, the representative of the Organization of the Migration International Uri Glorio, as well as the official of the National Police. A total of 8 patrols have been offered to the National Police by the Republic of Japan through the International Organization for Migration. This car will strengthen the supervision of Djibouti's border as the flow of migrant is growing in Djibouti. The main objective is for the implementation of a technical cooperation of capacity building in migration management. It also aims to strengthen the national capacities for the management of border. The representative of the IOM, Uri Glorio, has in his speech thanked the Japanese government for this donation.
During this donation ceremony, the Japanese ambassador has expressed himself in his speech. Let's listen to him.
For me to take part of this event for the inauguration of these new patrols for the National Police. The vehicle donation is a part of an amount of $600,000 realized by the International Organization for Migration and the Japanese government for the well management of the Djiboutian borders and their protections. Indeed, the migration and the borders management issue is a great challenge for Djibouti, who receives many migrants in her soil. The Republic of Djibouti has a prominent role in the stabilization of the Horn of Africa regions by maintaining the security in the context of the Yemeni crisis for a better management. The Yemeni crisis is a huge preoccupation by the Japanese government too. I'm glad to bring support for the Djiboutian government, who do everything they can to deal with this crisis.
The Chief of the National Police, Abdullahi Abdi, has delivered a brief speech. Let's follow his speech.
You all know the Republic of Djibouti has been and is an asylum country. It has been, at the very first beginning, a political willingness implemented after the independence of the country, and we are working on that way without adversely affecting the humanitarian aspect of the migration management. With our knowledge, we keep working with agencies such as the International Organization for the Migrants. I'm taking all the contributors' country, particularly Japan, a country with which we share historical bonds, a country who has been always there for support in any kind of issue related to migration and other issues. I'm taking Japan and the International Organization for Migrants, and I hope we will work further together in the future.
In the framework of the fight against illegal immigration, ARTA and Lagasal Police Squad have jointly conducted an operation in the sector of Galilei Geweltu, and nearby the beach yesterday. During this operation, the police have arrested 138 illegal Ethiopian immigrants wishing to go in the Gulf countries. These migrants have been driven to the borderline of the country at Galilei by the cops with their cars.
It is with a great sadness and dismay that we learn of the death of the fire Hussein Ali Ege occurred last night. The late Hussein Ali Ege was born in Arta, and he left behind 9 children, a widow, and several small children. The late Hussein Ali Ege was the brother of the RTD Director of Information Omar Ali Ege. By learning his disappearance, the RTD and its staff addressed their sincere condolence to his family and friends. May the God receive him in this eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Moving on in the regional and international news, Haile Mariam Desalegn has been re-elected as the Prime Minister of Ethiopia and is sworn in for a new 5-year term. In the inaugural session of the new parliament held on Monday, Haile Mariam, who has been in power since the death of the late Prime Minister Zenawi, was re-elected unanimously.
Haile Mariam was nominated by Deputy Prime Minister Demeke Mekonnen as Prime Minister, having served as Prime Minister of Ethiopia following the death of Meles Zenawi in 2012. The swearing-in marks his first full term at the helm of the East African country. He previously served as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs under Meles Zenawi. Haile Mariam was also Chief Administrator of the South Nation Nationalities and Peoples Regional State from November 2001 to March 2006. He was promoted Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs in October 2010.
Still in the international news, the 2015 Nobel Prize